a scheme that ties that up. A$AP Rocky's new album, When I'm Off, I'm Off. Stranger Things, or pushing other people who you know got a bigger purse than you to open their purse. Hopefully this mic is working, okay? Because if it's not, I'm gonna be big mad. Hello, and welcome to the first edition of Girl, What's Going On? I'm Kristianna, if you don't already know me. But I imagine that some of you will, because I already exist on YouTube. But I just needed, another place to just like get some thoughts off, because I have a lot of them. So as I've already said, there's a whole lot going on in the world and on the internet. And I just have a lot of thoughts about a lot of things. I used to actually do commentary. And I don't know if that's exactly where we're going. Okay, because I also want to talk about some things that are more serious. I want to talk about things that are fun or funny. Okay. And I don't know. I want to talk about things that I'm really into. We might nerd out every now and again, and I think it'll be fun. I also think that, like, especially this week, right? This week they are switching TikTok to like some sort of American only version of TikTok, and there's like a lot of discourse right now on whether or not people are going to choose to stay or go. But one thing for sure, like over the last over a decade now, because I've been on YouTube over a decade, YouTube has always been like a consistent and stable, so for the most part, like a stable place for so many people. And so this just felt like the most natural platform, I think, for me personally to show up on. And I think that's probably true for a lot of other people. And, you know, whatever, like, so I'm here. I'm here. I'm doing the thing. So I thought we could check in on me. I don't know, like things have been like super, super heavy, right? Things are like, I think we're just like seeing so much in the news. The tides are turning. People are standing up. People are standing out. I think that personally, I take a lot of comfort, I think, in the fact that I am like a worker activist already. And so there's a level of like the work that I'm already doing in my daily life that makes me feel confident that we will survive this moment in time, you know? I think that it's also opened up a lot of opportunities for me to engage the people in my life around the things that I've been wanting to talk to them about, but not seeming like I'm like beating the dead horse, because now there's like so many things, so many entry points of ways to talk to people and engage people right now. And so I'm feeling, I don't want to say happy about that, but I've just been seeing a lot of like silver linings, you know what I mean? In things that are happening in the world, that are allowing me to just like engage with people in real life. And now with you. I don't know. I'm feeling okay. I think generally I'm feeling good, like mental health wise. I have had like some really dark, really dark moments in 2025. And I'm going into 2026, just feeling okay. You know, I think that I know for sure things have been worse at times and been really dark personally. I was like a medicated queen for a couple of years. I recently got off of meds by my own doing. I do not recommend that. I do not recommend that. But it was what I needed to do just so I could just see a few things for myself there are definitely things I miss about being a medicated queen, if I'm being honest, but I'm still trying to figure out if those are like the like is that good or bad that I miss these particular effects of me like being super medicated. Just like I was telling my friend, like this is the first time I've felt in my body in a very, very long time. Like I feel like I'm here in real time with you, and I haven't felt that feeling in a long time. Like I have been feeling like I'm here, my mind is like over there. Like just very separated from my own body for a while now. And actually that has its upsides. When you're dealing with anxiety, when things are stressful, like you're feeling it, you're experiencing it, but it's totally different when you're kind of over, like when you're separated from your body. This sounds so weird, but it's just true. It's just true. Where now when I'm like feeling stressed out about a thing, I'm feeling it because I'm in my body. And there's probably like a lot of other examples of just like the weirdness that is like coming off of meds, but we move forward. The last thing I'll just say is that right now, my sense of community feels really, really strong. And like I said, things are really heavy and dark outside right now. And so I'm feeling really grateful for my community and the fact that I feel like I have some right now, because I know that there's a lot of people who are not feeling that at this time. And I don't know, I'm just really grateful about it. Are you feeling grateful, baby? You feeling grateful? Want to speak to the people? So I think that like in this space, you can definitely expect to hear some things that sound political, right? I always say that like politics is in the air that we breathe. Like the air that we literally breathe is political. Right? The water we drink is political, and these are things we like need to live, right? I don't want to shy away from that. Like like I know that like some people online have been getting, I don't know, turned every which way but loose around their political leanings and like where they are, but it actually like politics and things like that, social justice is like a large part of my personal makeup, just as much as I love talking about makeup. And so I think we're going to do a little bit of that today. One thing I've been just talking about a lot with friends is the fact that at every point in time in history, people definitely felt like the end was near, or like that they were at the end of the world. Like I've definitely asked people in my family, like, you know, the fact that right now it feels like the end is around the corner and people are feeling really, really scared about that. Has it always felt like this? And a lot of the responses I got was like, yeah, yeah. The various wars and things that we have gone through as a country, different presidents that we've had in the last like couple of decades have made people feel like doomed, like a sense of doom. People at every point in time have felt like the stressors or the stress of things that were going on politically at that time. And yet we push forward and we survive. I've been thinking a lot about what this means in terms of like what it also means to be doing this as a Black American. My people have literally survived so much going all the way back to like slavery. And I was thinking about this because I'm like, I am a descendant of survivors. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I could not be here having this conversation with you if my people did not do what they needed to do to survive what felt super scary at that point in time, whether that was literally slavery or Jim Crow or like the civil rights era, BLM, like all these, like, you know, there are people who are being brought into this world now that are only here because people have gone through all these other things before them. And I do want to make space to say, like, yeah, it's also true that not everybody survives. Like awful things have happened in the world, and not everybody survives, but many do. Of course, there are like many camps of people. I think right now, some of the camps of people that I just keep thinking about over and over again, though, are like people who are actively out there trying to do the work or trying to be involved and trying to fight the good fight, whatever that fight is, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now. And then there are people who maybe they actually don't give a damn, but at the very least that's how it comes across. But really it might just be that they don't have the language or the access to do much more than what they're doing. And then I think there are people who see what's going on, are terrified about it, but don't actually know how to put one foot in front of the other to do anything active or productive about what they're seeing or what it is that's bothering them, that they, you know what I mean, that is keeping them up at night. People don't always know what to like, what kind of actions that they could take or be a part of to help in any real way. And I think that for those people, if you're one of those people, it is deciding on what slice of the social justice pie makes the most sense to you and go join a group that is doing that work. You don't have to give up all your time. Find an org that is like taking volunteers around a particular fight or campaign or subject or whatever it is, and do what it makes sense for you to be doing. And that's not going to look the same for everybody. I just was at a communications retreat, and because I am a communications person, right, for what is a really large labor union. And there was someone at this retreat that doesn't actually do communications work, but they do administrative work. I think that they were kind of like expressing like it feels weird when all this stuff is going on that I'm over here like pushing paper, basically. Like they didn't say it this way, but that was kind of like what they were saying. And what I was saying to them is like, we need you. Like we need people to be able to play their role, so that the people who are actually like boots on the ground, like you putting their bodies on the line, whatever it is, for whatever it is, so that those people can actually be okay. Like you making sure that your folks are being paid on time or getting their reimbursements or like, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, like we need you in your lane, actually. And so like if you are somebody who's gonna like volunteer at an organization around a particular issue, maybe it is that you are using that time to help do a leaflet or like outside of a greedy bank or something. Or maybe like you have a finance background and there's a local org that is trying to get their stuff together, trying to get their books in order, and you actually have the skill set to help with that. I don't think that us all getting out and like doing the work is always going to look the same from person to person across the board. And so this is like really something I want people to like think about, because I think that people think activism or like getting involved, doing the work, whatever you want to call it, I think people think that it's supposed to look one particular way, but actually I think it can look many different ways. I talk with my hands, okay? I'm like seeing my hand like go everywhere right now, like the floating hand. But this is like something I've just been thinking about over and over and over again. And I'm really excited that I like have this space to just get it off my chest now. I will also say that sometimes doing the work is opening up your wallet, opening your purse. That's very helpful as well. Or pushing other people who you know got a bigger purse than you to open their purse. The other thing on this topic that I want to address or discuss is that we know already, like, joy is an act of resistance. Like, we must remember to have joy in these dark times. And that can look different for a lot of different people. Whether that's just like making sure that you're checking in with your friends, staying tapped in with them, making sure that you're going out and being social, doing your favorite hobby, whatever that looks like to you, remembering to do the things that make you happy is necessary. It actually is necessary. I was watching this TikTok the other day that kind of irritated me, if I'm being honest. They were doing the thing again where people try to like be like, if you have a platform, you need to be using it to speak up and da 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 da. And like, I get particularly irritated when this conversation comes up, because actually you don't know what people got going on. You don't know what people got going on. And you don't know what people do in their own time, their personal time. Like I just said, for my like day job, I do a particular type of work. And I feel so lucky and grateful that I get to do that as a job, right? And when I'm off, and I come to the internet actually to relax and participate in something that makes me happy, which is creating content. I don't want to necessarily use my space in a particular way when I already do that with all the rest of my time. We spend more time at work than we spend doing anything else for the most part. Like if we're not sleeping, right? And so, I don't know, like, I think I got a little sensitive about it. I did. But actually, I come to the internet as another space to have joy. I do. But the other thing, the larger point here is like making sure that we are maintaining our sense of joy in life, happiness, is what is going to fuel us to do the really, really hard things. And there are a lot of really, really hard things. And hard things can look different for different people. You might have heard this quote already. It's from Dan Savage. He was just like a writer around the time of the AIDS epidemic, like in the 90s and stuff, when HIV/AIDS was just really getting people up out of here, if we're being honest. There's this quote that I think about a lot, and I'm just gonna read it. Excuse me, the 80s and the 90s. The 80s, yeah, okay. We buried our friends in the morning, we protested in the afternoon, and we danced all night. And the dance kept us in the fight because it was the dance we were fighting for. I think it really is this deep. I think it is this deep. We fight so that we can have joy. Speaking of joy, let's talk about the things I've been into lately. Okay, so I have been watching Stranger Things. This isn't my type of show, okay? Let me just be clear about that. My little sister was like, you should watch this show. You should watch the Stranger Things. I had heard of it already. I had gotten the ColourPop makeup palette from the Stranger Things collab. Like, I have a lot of awareness of the show, but I really couldn't tell what the show was about. And I knew that the main characters were children, and I'm typically not going to watch something that features children. Not to say that it's weird to do so. There wasn't a lot there for me to be like, oh, this looks like it's going to be some sort of interesting thing that I'm going to like. And it's really not my type of show, to be clear. I'm now on season 4. I think I'm actually at the end of season 4. I think I have one more episode left, which the last 2 episodes are like feature film length. Not a complaint, but it's just interesting that they chose to do it that way instead of just adding extra episodes. But yeah, Stranger Things. I have a crush on Hopper. I've come to terms with that. That if I met a man like Hopper in real life, I would try to get him to be my man. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. And if you're not familiar with Hopper, he's just like this like alcoholic freaking sheriff in the town, in this like small town. Like I said, he does a lot of drinking, but it's like very small town vibes. Him and like his, like it's hard to tell if they dated at one point in time, but this woman Joyce, that they go way back, and he's just like helping her with all of the stranger things that are going on in the town. And without saying too much, Hopper is like, I don't know. Well, the show is like old. It's old. So I'm in season 4 now, and they're like in this Russian prison trying to escape. My booty cheeks have been clenched this entire time. But I'm just generally very surprised that I made it this far. Very surprised, because I don't like sci-fi. It's not that I'm against sci-fi. I'm just like not a sci-fi girly. I don't think I am. And like I said, I watched it now because I just want to be a part of the general conversation. Like, I'm still watching it because I want to be like, I see the videos, I see the TikToks, and I'm like, I want to have an opinion on this show. So I'm just going to keep pushing forward. I think the first season actually was good to me. But now season 4 is getting to that dumb point. It's getting to that dumb point. And you know what I'm talking about. You know, when a show like starts to have mad seasons, they get to a point where shit just starts getting dumb. Like, what is that other show? From? You know that show From? I think AMC? Is that an AMC show? Okay. There's a show called From, where these people get like trapped in this like town that doesn't actually exist, and these like monsters come out at night. And the show was really, really good. I think they're getting ready to go into season 4, if I'm not mistaken. And the last season is where it started making that turn towards getting dumb. And I'm nervous about that next season. If it didn't already come out, I have to look. I think it's not out yet, but this past season that they put out, it started getting dumb. It started getting real dumb. And I don't like it. I actually really hate it. Like, when I used to watch Lost, and I watched the hell out that show because there's mad seasons. And then it got to a point where it started getting dumb, and I had to abort mission. Okay, I had to jump ship. But I think that with Stranger Things, there's only but so many episodes, so I'm like, I might as well just watch this stuff. But then when I started realizing, I'm like, damn, it's been a long time, and I'm still on this episode. And then I realized, because it's an hour and a half. This episode is an hour and 40 minutes. Oh. So yeah, the struggle is real. I am going to watch season 5 just so I can be done with it, because I did read that season 5 is the end of the story. Like, there ain't gonna be no more. So I'm like, I'm in the middle of it. You might as well just go ahead and see it through, my boy. Not to mention, I don't know. Oh, I feel like I should actually talk about this other thing, just because some of you are going to be coming from my other channel. Half the reason I fell off of vlogging more recently is because I was watching Vampire Diaries. I was watching Vampire Diaries, and it was like I got caught in a trance, because one thing about me, I love vampires, and I love love, and I love human girl falls in love with mystical magical creature, no matter what that creature is, question mark, you know what I mean? But like, when human girl falls in love with it or them, you know, I love that. And it was like I got caught in a trance almost, where I couldn't do anything but watch Vampire Diaries. And then once that was over, I thought I could move forward with my life, and I could not. I had to watch the originals. Okay. I had to watch the originals. And I actually didn't realize the Vampire Diaries went on for as long as I thought, like as long as it did, because I remember I watched 3 seasons as a kid, like when the show first came out, but I had no idea that the show kept going, and so there was just so much I had to get into, and then like I said, I watched the originals, and I think I only ever watched that first season, and there's a handful of seasons. And so I did all that. I don't need to watch Legacies. I've seen a couple episodes before, like years ago. I don't need to go back there, because the series is trash. Is trash. And the idea that, like, what's her name, Julie Peck, stopped making more episodes and seasons of the originals to create Legacies, and for it to be a flop, jail, prison, okay? Prison. That's what I'm gonna say about that. These lights are making my eyes so watery. Like, I have all these lights on me because this room doesn't have any windows. And so, like, if you just keep seeing me, I'm not getting emotional. I'm just, my eyes are running. I should probably go see somebody's eye doctor about it at some point. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that I recently listened to A$AP Rocky's new album, Don't Be Dumb. And I have thoughts. It was okay. It was okay. I didn't immediately, like, sometimes, you know, you listen to an album and there are just tracks that jump out at you and you're like, oh my God, I gotta add this to this playlist. I gotta put this on that playlist or whatever. That didn't really happen for me this time around. I'm very hesitant to listen to it a second time, which is also saying a lot. I love A$AP, as far as his music is concerned. He's got a very, very problematic past, and we can talk about that in a second. Also, like, his use of the word bitch. And it's like, I let it slide, you know, when he had that one song, That's My Bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I let it slide once already, okay? Like, I just think it's weird when it's like, we know, like, you're saying, like, my bitch, in terms of, like, you're speaking directly about a woman who it's fair to assume is Rihanna. I just think he's using the word in a very different way than a lot of people use. Like, he's using it to refer to a particular person. I don't love it. I do not love it. It's weird. It's weird. Like, you might as well walk up and call her a bitch directly at this level, at this juncture. I'm not into it. And it just kept happening. Like 4 or 5 tracks or something. Like, what is going on? Even people, like, praising him for coming at Drake. There's, like, a line about, like, you stole my flow or something, so I stole your bitch. This is crazy. This is crazy work. Like, I do not love it. Like, what? And then the other night, my cousin and I, we were hanging out, and she was like, you know, like, everybody's doing this 2016 challenge. Somebody need to bring up the part where A$AP Rocky was, like, off the hinges in 2016. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot all about this. Like, actually, A$AP Rocky has a really, really problematic past. In particularly around the stuff in Ferguson, in 2015, I want to say 2015, 2016. You know, people were, like, really, like, people like to say, like, Black Lives Matter was really, like, birthed in 2020. But actually, one could say, like, was it 2012 with Trayvon? Don't get me to lying. Let me do my damn research before I get up here saying years, but, like, or, like, you know, saying things like this. But, like, but to the point is that people were just, like, standing up to police brutality in Ferguson in around 2015, and people were asking just celebrities, like, just generally celebrities, people with a platform, if they could speak up and say something on behalf of the people who were, like, fighting for their lives in this particular moment in time. And A$AP got very, very defensive around being pushed to say anything. And his positioning was like that, like, I'm not from there. I don't know what goes on there. Like, it's not my responsibility to say anything. And I think that, that is an interesting discussion all in itself, right? On whether or not people with platforms, people with celebrities and stuff like that, especially when they're Black, how much responsibility do they actually have to the community when things are happening, I think is a discussion. Because it might actually just be that it depends. Is it a case by case? You know what I mean? Does the celebrity have to be from there? Like, we're still waiting on DJ Khaled to say something about Gaza. There's a lot. But I think that the level of anger and vitriol that ASAP came with was disgusting. I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say. Pretty gross. And I think there was a couple years before that, he was saying stuff about black women wearing red lipstick and how he didn't think that was appropriate. And just like, I was like, oh, like, I totally forgot that, like, you know, like ASAP is actually very problematic, and he hasn't actually corrected the stuff. Like, has he made good in the community on some of this stuff? Maybe I'm wrong. But it would be really interesting that, like, you know, we're talking about the 2016 challenge, and like people are posting old pictures of themselves and talking about how good, you know, the 2016 was as a year, and like that was the last time we like felt normal as a society or whatever. And I think that really just depends on who you're talking to be honest. But also that, like, in the midst of that, ASAP drops this album. It just would be interesting to see somebody call him to the carpet and see what he says. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I fear he would disappoint, though. I want to talk about some other things that are happening on the internet right now. Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, TikTok is going up in flames. This week, actually, the 22nd, they are talking about moving to a American only, like very like insular version of TikTok. Because the app itself has been sold partially to Oracle. Yeah, I'm not excited about that. I'm not. One of the things that's been really, really cool about TikTok is the fact that it was like kind of global to some level, and that there are people all over the world, Black people in particular, I think have benefited from the fact that the reach, like we learned about Black people living in Scotland. Like I didn't know we were there. You know what I mean? I think that's been really cool to seeing how the ways that we live across the world. We can't have nothing nice, okay? Like, we can't have nothing nice without them trying to ruin it. I know that, like, Mark Zuckerberg and them are like happy as clams about this. Because I think a lot of people will go back to Meta for the most part. I don't even know who owns YouTube. Like, I know YouTube is owned by Google. But like, we don't actually know who the person is, the way that like some of these other people have almost become like social media influencers in themselves. Like, and I don't think Mark Zuckerberg thinks that he's a social media influencer, but like I know his name, right? Like, I know he is, you know, he's the guy that took down Tom from MySpace. I don't know, like, these are dark times. These are, as I've already established, these are dark times. People are going to Substack. I have a Substack, but it's more of a like fashion kind of thing. And I don't know if I enjoy the experience of Substack. Like, I gave it a very short go. I played with it for like maybe 2 months or something. I don't know. And then there's Instagram that feels broken. Okay. And then there's YouTube now. We have was it Blue Sky? And Blue Sky has what's called Spotlight. But the apps are kind of like underdeveloped. They need a lot of help to be better. Like, again, we can't have nothing nice. It's really a bummer. And I feel a little bit sad, like, that some of my favorite creators will go off and they might not choose to keep creating, or that I'll just generally lose track of them. I think the ways that we've been able to keep each other informed and keep each other accountable and keep each other up, just like involved when things are happening. Like, this is all would they say a plot that Todd set up, a scheme that Todd set up. That's how it feels right now, to keep us from being able to stay in community. I think that's literally what's happening. That I feel like this app will, one, if they force us to download a new app, a lot of people are not coming. I wonder actually if they have figured out how to do all this without making people download a new app. You know what I'm saying? Because if people have to go somewhere else and download a new thing, a lot of people are not coming. I can tell you that right now. A lot of people are not coming. I think that's the only way they'll survive, actually, this transfer of power is if they make it so that it just happens in a naturally occurring update in the TikTok app that we have right now. It'll be really interesting come Thursday, like I said, a couple of days from now, to see how this goes. The other thing going down the tubes right now is The Sims 4. I want to talk about this because it's like the same thing. Like, I just feel like I'm getting hit from all corners. Like, they just keep bumping me against the wall. You know what I mean? Like, keep bumping me against the wall. Like, I feel like I'm getting bumped against the wall right now. Like, my eyes won't stop watering. But like, I'm getting bumped up against the wall. If it ain't one thing, it's another. And I just feel like I can't have nice things right now. Like I play The Sims 4. I've been playing since The Sims 2. There were times in my life where I took a break or whatever because I was like, do grown-ups play video games? You know what I mean? And I felt really self-conscious about it in my early 20s. And so I put it down. I picked it back up during the pandemic, and I love myself for that, because playing The Sims 4 has been some of the, like, I don't know, has been a joy in my life. And it was recently sold to the Saudi government. EA, the whole thing was sold. They won't be getting any more money out of me, right? But I saw something the other day that there's people who like ain't got nothing else to do but to like dig up in the codes of the game and find stuff out, or like get clues for future games and just like all this stuff. And somebody was doing some digging the other day and saw that they're thinking about doing like a subscription service for the game. Like, I guess you would have to pay to be able to use the game, instead of like the fact that we've already paid for these games. I think a lot of scary stuff is coming. I'm really nervous about the game function being changed. Like right now, like you can make a character, make a sim, and like they can do anything. They can like have multiple partners, they can have multiple lovers, they can have a bunch of children without being married necessarily first. And I just wonder if the game will continue to have the freedoms that we all enjoy in the game, because there's a lot of stuff in the game that they don't play that over there. You know what I'm saying? They don't play that over there. And that's freaking me out. I don't want my game to change, other than the fact that it does need to be fixed. The game is perpetually broken for the most part. And I would love for them to just fix it and then leave it alone. I know that right now they're working on the last EP, the last expansion pack. If you don't know, they're working on the last one, and then they're saying that's it. And so I'm hoping that will cut down on some of the bugginess of the game. But already they just did a update the other day, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And it's really discouraging, actually. It's really discouraging from even like sometimes I don't even want to play it because there's always something going wrong with it. Not to mention my computer. Like, I play it on a MacBook, and my computer hates me. My computer hates me. Anyway, this has been fun. I feel like I had some more topics on here that I'm just going to like in my notes, because I just write things that I want to talk about in my notes, and then I just kind of go for it. There's a lot of other stuff that I was supposed to talk about in this video, but I think I'm just gonna save it for the next video, because why not? I'm gonna be cranking these out a little bit, just so I can get the almighty algo to understand what we're doing over here. And I think I'm just gonna save some of that for the next video. But this was fun. I love it. Hopefully this mic was working the whole time, because if I upload this footage and it is not working, I'm gonna be really upset. I'm gonna be really, really upset. Anywho, yeah, girl, what's going on? How are you? Tell me all the things down below. If you know somebody who also be interested in chit-chatting with me about all the things, right? Whether that's, you know, internet beauty stuff, drama, like, political things. I feel like we're going to be getting into a lot of stuff. If you just want to chit chat about my stuff, because I am going to be giving a little tea on me as we go forward. Just like whatever's happening in my life, I gotta be able to talk about it somewhere. Gotta be able to talk about it somewhere, although I do have therapy. But I just want, I don't know, a space to just get my thoughts off, and we're going to do that. We're going to have fun. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Bye.